Hello, nice to meet you.
Elsa! Elsa! Wake up! Wake up! Anna, go back to sleep. I just can't. The sky's awake, so I'm awake. Go play by yourself. Do you want to build a snowman?
Everyone, do you know who the main characters in the conversation you just heard are? Yes, that's correct. That was a bit easy, wasn't it? They are the Disney characters Anna and Elsa. Because I love Disney movies so much, after watching them dozens and dozens of times, I've even become able to do impressions of Disney characters like this. And now people even ask me, are you possessed by these characters or something? To the point where people say that, I've even learned to mimic the characters' way of speaking and their gestures. And as I kept repeating their lines in the original language, at some point I naturally became able to speak English fluently. So by developing something I love like this, I am now working as a creator. My name is Hanol Rim.
Hana means family.
Hey, are you a hobo?
This stop is Express Bus Terminal. The doors are on your right.
Yes. In this way, including English voice impressions, I currently upload a variety of content that really shows my own unique style to YouTube. And because of that, a lot of people say this about me. They say she's a great example of someone who turned what they love into their job. Yes, people say that a lot. Live your life doing what you love. Make your passion your profession. As someone who's actually living that way, I can really relate to those words. But we also know very well that actually making a living by doing what you love isn't always a walk in the park. However, I do know one way to succeed while doing what you truly love. Interested? Yes. And for the first time, I'd like to share that method here today. Yes. So this event happened a way back ago when I was a second-year student in college. A certain bank held a voice talent donation festival. This special event was precisely organized by the bank so that people with sight could donate their voices to create audio content for the visually impaired. At that time, the very concept of voice talent donation was unfamiliar to me, and I had absolutely no related experience, but I decided to participate simply because I really liked the purpose of this campaign. But this event I somehow ended up participating in. On the day I took part, I came home deeply shocked. It was the first time ever I came to realization that my voice, which I had always taken for granted and never thought much of, could actually be used to empower and help someone else. So I wondered, was speaking up and using my voice always this enjoyable? Could it really be something this valuable? Shocked by this realization, after participating in that event, I became completely absorbed in speaking out. So I started seeking out and tried to participate in any type of project where my voice could be put to use, anything at all. And not only did I get involved in volunteer work like this, but I also kept studying pronunciation, vocalization, and breathing techniques to take part in various recording projects. Through these various practices, I had the incredible opportunity to work on many different projects that used my voice in a variety of fields: advertising, education, broadcasting, games, just to name a few of them. This work has been continuing for about 7 years now, and as of recent, I had a great opportunity to record the Korean audio guide for the Museum of Modern Art in New York, commonly known as MoMA. So after that, some of the visitors who went to MoMA, the Museum of Modern Art, have personally sent me thoughtful and heartfelt messages saying that my voice, as part of the audio guide, made their overall museum experience feel much richer and more meaningful. In this way, I came to the realization of how valuable and grateful it is that something I started simply because I liked it could become something good for others as well. Back in 2015, when I was in school, it was exam period. My classmates from the same department were all exhausted because of the exam period. Seeing that, I thought, how can I make my friends laugh and cheer them up? That's when I started thinking about it. So I recorded impressions of the most popular game characters among my friends at the time and uploaded the audio files to our messenger chat. It went something like this.
니네 이거 할 줄 알아? 어느 것을 고를까? 뿌리다!
Yeah. I recorded the voices of various characters like this and uploaded the audio files, and my friends' reactions were amazing. Even though they were all exhausted, suddenly they got excited and said, "Hey, this is so much fun." But they also gave me feedback saying, "I'm not just curious about the voices, I also want to see what kind of expressions you make when you do impressions." And since my friends suddenly got so enthusiastic, I got excited too. And with a bit more confidence, I ended up creating my very first video content. The title was a visible vocal impression. There was nothing special about it, just me doing impressions, recorded with my phone camera and edited using the basic video editing program that comes with Windows. As soon as I uploaded this video to my personal social media, my friends watched it, then my friends' friends watched it, and then their friends as well, and it quickly spread among students all over the country who loved this game. Yes, I didn't make any money from this video, but from my perspective, it was a huge hit. Because of that, I was able to receive messages of support from even more people than just my friends. And on my personal social media, I started uploading audio content, videos that made use of my voice, one by one. I also did voice impressions, and using my somewhat lower voice tone, I created content where I read stories like a late-night radio show, something nice to listen to at night. As I did this, I realized my work isn't the most polished, I'm not great at video editing, and it's not like I have the best voice in the world. But when I started receiving feedback from people saying that my content made them laugh, cry, and even brought positive changes to their lives, I made up my mind. I thought, if I can do something I genuinely love, and it doesn't just end with my own enjoyment, but can also result in bringing joy and healing to others, then I really should give this path a try. Of course, creating content hasn't always been smooth sailing. First of all, as I mentioned earlier, since I had never edited videos before, I had to look things up and learn everything one by one. And in order to create high-quality content, I had to go through a lot of trial and error. And sometimes, although not often, I had to deal with harsh comments for no reason. However, thanks to the overwhelmingly positive feedback from so many people, all of those difficulties faded into the background, and I constantly thought about how I could create content that would be enjoyable, not just for me, but for everyone. And as I kept putting in the effort, I realized at some point that I was actually enjoying the process itself. And thanks to that, I've been able to continue doing this work up to now. Yes, now that I'm working as a full-time content creator and making these videos as my profession, a lot of people have started to ask about my major. I majored in interior architecture at Hanyang University. It's really unexpected, isn't it? Haha, yes. I majored in interior architecture and, well, I've always liked making things with my hands. So while I was preparing for college entrance exams, I thought, what if I create spaces that people use with my own hands this time? That's why I chose interior architecture as my major. And after choosing interior architecture as my major, for a while, my dream was to become a theme park designer. Yes, as you all know, I love Disney so much that I asked myself, how happy would I be if I could create a space for people that embodies the magic and fantasy of Disney? That's what I used to think. But as you can see, I'm not currently working as a designer at a theme park, so that would mean you've given up on interior architecture. Some people say that, but I don't necessarily see it that way. Recently, I've been especially focused on creating a particular type of content. It's ASMR, which provides a sense of happiness and space through sound and video. These are the type of videos that give viewers the feeling of being in a specific situation or space. As I have mentioned earlier, I try to create a sense of fantasy, like being on a plane traveling somewhere, or being at a beautiful resort overseas. Or I try to express through video the feeling of going on an adventure in a spaceship in outer space. One day I was at home, just staying in my room. I was holed up in my room and it just felt so stuffy inside. I really wanted to travel. But can we just go on a trip whenever we feel like it? It's hard, right? So at that moment, I took out my phone as a consolation. I opened up the photo album on my phone and started looking back at the videos from my previous trips. Watching those, I thought, wow, I really had a great time back then. Wow, I was really excited at that time. That's what I thought while watching my phone. And as I went through the videos, I happened to come across a video I took on an airplane. Looking at the airplane wing and the beautiful clouds outside the window, I found myself forgetting that I was actually in my room. That's when an idea suddenly came to me. Oh, I can't be the only one who feels this way. A lot of people, even while going through their repetitive and busy daily lives, probably have their hearts somewhere far away like in the Maldives. So I thought, what if I vividly recreate the whole process of going on a trip and capture it on video? Maybe people who watch that video could feel a bit of healing, even if just for a moment. That's why I try to bring out as much detail as possible in the process of traveling, reenacting everything from going to the airport and getting my ticket, to receiving my seat assignment, getting my in-flight meal, and even fastening my seatbelt when hitting turbulence. That's how I came up with my flight attendant roleplay ASMR content. Since being uploaded, this content has continued to receive steady love, and it has now established itself as a video with over 1 million views.
목적지인 뉴욕까지 예정된 비행 시간은 이륙 후 14시간 10분입니다. 도움이 필요하시면 언제든지 저희 승무원을 불러주십시오.
Yes, if you ever feel cooped up at home, try checking it out sometime. It's fun. So, I've brought a few of the comments that people who enjoy my ASMR content have left themselves. These comments range from people saying that since it's become even harder to travel due to COVID-19, they were able to experience a sense of satisfaction through this content, to others sharing that it helped them fall into a deep sleep. And this particular comment is one I saw recently and it really touched my heart. I still feel that way now. This person used to really love traveling, but due to illness and the resulting difficulty in moving around, they can no longer go on the trips they enjoyed. But they shared that through my content, they were able to feel the excitement of traveling again after a long time, and that it made them very happy. For me, well, I realized that when something I love doing also becomes something good for others, that's when my life truly feels enriched. And at some point, I found myself making a conscious effort to connect what I love to do with things that are beneficial to others. As I kept doing that, before I knew it, I became someone who is recognized by myself and others as the person who lives doing what they love. Today, I'm not here to irresponsibly tell you all to just turn what you love into your career. But you know those hobbies or interests we tend to think of lightly in our everyday, day-to-day lives? If you look a little deeper, those things might actually have the power to help others as well. I encourage you all to think about it too. What is it that you like? You might say, I don't really have anything I particularly like. Or, why are you asking such a cheesy question? But since the question is broad, try to think about it freely. It could be a specific activity, like exercising or singing. Or it could be an object, like dogs, cats, or airplanes. Or try to think about whether there was something in the past that once made your heart race, but that you had to forget, either by choice or not. And then, try to take a closer look at what it is that you like. Why do I like this? And how does this move me? And if you want to succeed with what you love, make sure to consider this one thing. How can I transform what I love into something good for other people as well? Think about whether what you love could possibly fill someone else's need or resolve someone else's problem. There is a saying that I really love. First think, second believe, third dream, and finally dare. This is something what my eternal idol, Walt Disney, once said. Think about what it is that you truly love, and then believe in it. And then dream about it and put it into action, with the sincere hope that the things we love will enrich not only our own days, years, and entire lives, but also those of many other people, I will end here today. Thank you.